someone reached out to me yesterday and was like, if I record tomorrow and get this to you, can you edit this for me? I need to get it to Emily.
And he was like, at least you're not alone. And I was like, oh,
so I was
God.
like, yeah. So I tell her,
and I mean,
you're not the only one. And welcome to the Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, a lot.
There is a lot. There's so
All
much
things
going on. Just at the time of this recording, madness starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like begins for like the next few months or
several months.
Yeah.
Like my friend was like, oh, I should come visit you. And I was like, yes, you should. No. And I was like, after October. And like I was telling Sarah, I was like, oh, things will start to calm down in October and then it'll be holidays.
Yep.
So
yep. Just after like everything like calms down for like business stuff, then it's the holidays.
Yep.
Yeah. So this episode is brought to you by
Katie with Monarch Pine. So if you're looking for jewelry blanks or findings, check out her new website, monarchpine.com, and use code RileyBlack for 10% off. And patrons, of course, get a higher discount. So where do they find that, John?
Sorry, I was waiting for a pause so that we can put the names.
Oh,
and
sorry.
Then I was going to say it, but thank you for ruining that.
I was
so you can find
help.
that at the Riley Black Project Community Facebook group. And if you're a patron,
that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I was
if you're
tossing
a patron,
you the patron part.
If you're well, I always do the Gen Pop first.
Oh, okay.
And then go.
Okay.
So if you're a patron and you're not a member of the TRBP Hangouts Facebook group,
yes,
go join that because that's where all those perks are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the names go here. Who we got?
Anne Hotchkiss, Melody P, Taimada, Pam with Barefoot Inspirations, Alicia Logan, Christian C, Christian with Tumbly House Creative, Kim and Garrett Make It, Debbie Dean, Patricia L, Michelle with Edwards Farm Decor, Toby with Cuddle.xyz, Keith, Christina, Jen with Laser Last Design Co, Candy with Turtle To Go Creations, Sheila with Science Inspirations LLC, Natalie C, Hannah B, Kevin with Sludge Epoxy, Daniel with The Live Pixel Creates, Danny M, Catherine with Primary Market, Bree with Burn Shack, Aaron with Aaron's Acrylic Animals, Christy C, Jess with Jersey Girl Sign Shop, Jillian B, Trisha with Mom of Six Creations, Rexy with Spreading Stardust, Heather Lynn with Lobo Designs, Liz with Laser Outpost, Superfan Brandy, Victor with Excited Adam, Katie with Monarch Pine, Lisa, David with Creative Cut Supplies, Stephanie L, Barbie C, Madison B, Emily, That Mom with the Laser, Mark with Big Blue Laser Designs, Kathy Ray, The Testing Queen, MJ with Crafts and Carry Customs, Ryan with Sprouse Creations, and Will, Crazy Laser Dad.
That's a lot of names.
It is.
Thank you all for continuing to be patrons. And now back to the show. And we're back from the names. Thank you guys for being patrons. And if you would like to be added to the list, join Patreon.
Because once we hit 100 members,
it's just gonna be scrolling.
Then it's just gonna be scrolling for anybody else. But we're gonna try and do some extra perks for our 100.
Yeah, our core 100.
Yeah, core 100.
Yeah. So. Yes. Yeah, okay. Well, now that all that's done, today's guest, I mean, it'd be a whole podcast just in like an introduction, really.
Yeah.
So, because there's so many things. So, but welcome back to the show for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, right.
Emily, better known as That Mom with a Laser.
Hi, friends.
Hey.
How's it going?
So I sent her the clip last night. I'm currently still working on my Laser Maker Con video because things have been cray. But I find things settled down enough that I was able to start recording. And twice in my recording, I was like, let's go. And I was like, oh, my God.
That's what you get.
I told her, I was like, we've made fun of her so much that my brain's like, oh, this is what we do
for Emily
when we say let's go. Because I wasn't even talking about her. I was just like,
we're going to the next place. Like, let's just do it.
Right.
See?
But you have to do the head nod when you say it.
You do.
It's what is it like? The Pavlov, the like
Pavlov
training,
conditioning.
the
I have
clicking.
been conditioning you since
you
day
have
one.
to do this. Slowly conditioning me over 5-6 years, however long it's been.
I have conquered finally.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank goodness. There was a period where I was really on a big slump and I'm feeling like myself again. So thank you for
Yeah.
asking. I'm doing great. I have a lot of energy. My mom, I wish I could tell you guys the pills because now everybody's going to want to know. My mom bought me some kind of energy pills on TikTok because,
Yeah.
my mom is like, it used to be QVC and now it's TikTok.
I love it.
But they've been working really well. And I've got a lot of energy, which is what I need. And I know it's working really well because typically by the midday, that's when I need my afternoon cafecito.
Mhm.
And I have been so energetic that I'm like, I don't know if I need the cafecito, you know?
Yeah.
My heart wants the midday coffee,
Right.
but my body doesn't seem to need it. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Nice.
I'll find out and tell you guys.
Yeah.
If it's legal.
Right.
Yeah, it's some kind of it's like a supplement or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's working. Yeah.
That's good.
So
Nice.
mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, so you said you were sick for a while, and then you were kind of like just like kind of in like a slump, and you like you said that and I feel like I don't want to talk about it for too long, but I feel like it's nice for people to know that all of us go through those moments where you're hard on yourself or you're comparing yourselves to others or, am I doing enough? Am I innovating enough? Like all that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about, and too, you were sick too, which I feel like either can like start those slumps or they just add on to it,
Mhm.
So how do you tend to like get through those kind of times?
So it started with going out to Vegas for the trade show for the ISA show with Eon. And you guys see me when I go on these shows, I am putting my best foot forward. I am super social. I'm meeting with everybody. So of course I came back and I got sick. And the one thing that I do when I travel that I forgot to do this time was pack emergency packets.
Yep.
You
And
know what I mean?
Zycam. That's my like
Yes.
travel
And
routine now.
if I do it religiously every day, I don't come back and get sick.
Yep.
But this time I forgot it. I was rushing. And of course I went down for the count. And it was a really bad upper respiratory infection. So it took forever. And then that's when I'm in danger mentally because I'm a doer. And when I can't do things, I feel anxiety. I feel depression. I feel like I'm falling behind and rawr. So typically I tell myself, I know it's a phase. I always pray for peace and clarity. And I just know that I have to get through that. I call it the funk. The funk gets us all. It doesn't matter who you are. Okay. Even the happiest person gets the funk every now and then. But
Almost more so. They're just sometimes those people get it worse because they're kind of like people always expect for them to be happy. So a lot of times, even when you're a little bit off your game, those people can kind of tend to bottle it up more. Right. And then it eventually kind of just like it's going to come out.
Yeah. But my recipe to bounce back from it is 1, recognize it, acknowledge it. That's the first thing. 2, try to rest. 3 is always reaching out to friends because sometimes they can knock me out of my nonsense.
Yeah.
And let it pass. So thankfully, usually when I go through a slump, I always climb out of it. And that's kind of where I am now.
Good.
Yeah.
So you have, much like us, you have way too much, but awesome stuff going on. So what are some of those things?
Which is important because I need all the energy to take over the world, right?
Right, exactly.
That's what I got to do in the next couple of months. I'm like you.
Pinky.
It oh, I missed that show.
Right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do today, Pinky? Take over the world.
Yeah. So, talking about the slump too, like I'm always contemplating the direction of my business. Where am I taking it? Because it's always evolving, just like it is with you guys. And, I'm always asking myself, who am I with this business? Where do I want to take it? So I just sent out an email. I don't know if you see people commenting in the group. Thank you for the email. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So the funny thing is I had like this heartfelt email that I sent out to my subscribers, just telling them what was going on in my life. Cause I'm like, am I more than just a free tutorial and a free TikTok lesson? Like I would like to know that who are my people? Who are the ones that are really vested in my story and not just there because they want to know the next thing I could teach them,
Right.
And so I sent out the email and I didn't think about it, but I told them, reach out to me on social if you connected with this email because I'm horrible at checking my emails. And that's what they did. They all showed up I thought they would comment on like Instagram or whatever, but they all made posts in the Facebook group, which was sweet. So
nice.
I went on a tangent. I had a point here.
All the things going on.
Yeah. Taking over the world.
Taking over the world. Yeah. And in the email, how funny is this? I talked about how I'm speaking at LBX and then I'm speaking at Next Level Laser. And I said that I was speaking at Next Level Laser in August. And then they wrote back and they're like, Emily, no, I said I'm speaking in September. And they're like, Emily, it's in August. And I was like,
please don't be late.
Too late. Her flights are booked.
It's almost September-ish. I mean, it's the very
I knew it was around like
August.
back to school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, late August.
I only sent it out to like thousands of people. I hope. Anyhow. So where did things start? So things begin by the end of this month. By the time they hear this, we're in June, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So June 26th through 28th, that's the big to-do. That's Laser Maker Con. Yay! We're so excited. And I'm so excited about the speakers. Like they are so good. And the stuff that they've put together is amazing. I'm so proud of the speaker list that we have. So everything is, working with the sponsors to get what their goodies that they're sending in, because we're going to have tons of freebies that we're going to be giving out. Hunting down speakers that have not submitted their videos yet.
I recorded some yesterday.
You know what's funny about that? And this person will remain nameless, but someone reached out to me yesterday and was like, if I record tomorrow and get this to you, can you edit this for me? I need to get it to Emily.
And he was like, at least you're not alone. And I was like, oh,
so I was
God.
like, yeah. So I tell her,
I mean,
you're not the only one.
I had me. I try to be on time, and much like last year, I had to do it early because we had something else going on. But like my slump started with my eye situation, and I have my glasses on again today. So I wore my contacts yesterday and I put on lashes and I wore eyeliner and my eyes were good. They were still a little bit like, what is this? We haven't had this in over a month. And then I woke up this morning and my eyes were like, chill. And I was like, okay, let me not put in the contacts yet. Let me let me give them a break. So I was like, let me do the podcast with, my glasses, and I'll put my contacts in before I do my content if I want to. But that kind of started it for me, because it's like when you don't feel your best, you don't like feel and look your best, and then you're supposed to get on camera and be like, the funny
on the other side they'll feel it. They'll feel your energy. Yeah,
exactly. And so, I was like, ugh. And then I'm like, I don't want to make a video like this because it's not. It wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be my normal content. And then I was starting to like feel better. And then we decided to open up a local podcast studio. So things have been crazy, but yeah. I'm getting there. You'll have it. Thankfully, I have this guy, so that
The Riley Black Project is sponsored by Monarch Pine.
Monarch Pine is your trusted source for premium laser blanks and jewelry findings. From large loop earring hooks made specifically for acrylic and wood earrings to laser-tested stainless steel necklace and bracelet blanks, they have everything you need to bring your creative ideas to life.
As a maker, you know the value of quality supplies. And that's exactly what Monarch Pine delivers. Whether you're crafting as a hobby or running a full-time business, their products make it easy to design confidently and create stunning pieces.
Head to monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack to get 10% off your order. Riley Black patrons get an even bigger discount, so don't miss out.
While you're at it, join the Monarch Pine Craft Supply Insiders Facebook group. It's a vibrant community where makers share tips, inspiration, and their incredible creations.
Monarch Pine, where your creativity takes center stage. Visit monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack today.
Not tomorrow.
Today. Lone Star Adhesive has elevated the industry standard with their premium leatherette, UV printed goods, and American-made products in leather, acrylic, PVC, and their indestructible thermal activated adhesive.
You can check them out at lonestaradhesive.com or join their Facebook community of nearly 30,000 fellow makers who share the belief that you shouldn't cut corners and instead stick to excellence.
Lone Star Adhesive official group is where it's at, and you can use code TRBP15 to get 15% off your next purchase.
Go get you some.
Go.
To be fair, you were very good about letting me know. You're like, is it okay if I turn it? As long as there's communication, it's cool, and I'm not freaking out. But if I haven't heard from you, you're giving me anxiety, you know. And it doesn't help when like people at the last minute just totally cancel, and you're like, oh, you know. But anyhow, if you were watching and you're like, what is Laser Maker Con? Laser Maker Con is a virtual conference that we run. I host it's 3 days, okay, and it's 3 days packed with free tutorials. It's totally free. And you can watch the tutorials for up to 24 hours after they air. So I basically spend all year recruiting the best of the best, sometimes convincing them to make a video, right? Because a lot of these people are very busy. They're not influencers, you know, they have brick and mortars. So one, recording isn't their thing. Two, giving away their secrets may not necessarily be their thing either. But a lot of people are gracious enough to come together and teach you something that they have mastered. And so it's a free conference for 3 days. And if you want to have lifetime access to all of that stuff, you can buy the VIP ticket for, I want to say the pricing is $47. And then you get lifetime access to it, and you get a bunch of extra bonuses. So like this year, some of our speakers also, Crystal, are offering not just a free lesson during the conference, but a bonus free lesson, which is also really awesome. So we've got a couple of those, lots of really great goodies. We're going to be giving. Oh, did he not know that?
No, he didn't know that. But oh shit, that was something else I need to edit. But
well, maybe. Okay, cancel that. We can take that part out. It's not going to happen.
Just keep throwing on a bunch of stuff. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
All right. Well, we're going to be giving away a free laser. Neon Laser USA is our sponsor. They're going to be giving away a free red line, which, by the way, you have to tell me about how much you love your baby Mira.
I do love her. She's very
she looks great.
Adorable. Hey, I used her yesterday, and I'm going to use her again today, hopefully. Yeah, I love her. She is adorable. So much more room for activities, not having the 9 around.
True.
Oh, so much room for activities around.
Yes. Well, but then it was funny because I was thinking of what kind of sign we wanted to make for the new studio.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh, well, I could back it like with acrylic. And I was like, oh shit, but I have a baby laser now. So I couldn't make like the bigger, backer. So I'll have to outsource that part. But, that's okay. And he was like, we have to pass through. And I was like, I don't have time to learn something new with everything we got going on. I'm like, so in this situation, I'm going to outsource. If we need to do something, again in the future, then we can. But yes, I love her.
Oh, good. I'm glad you love her. So let's see. We've got a bunch of different sponsors. And so that's what this week is about. We've got Neon Laser USA giving away a free laser. We've got Laser Map Maker. We'll be giving away some free subscriptions to lasermapmaker.com. Nice. Lone Star Adhesive. We'll be giving away some free adhesive. Let's see. We've got Monarch Pine. Hey, shout out Katie. Hey. Also some goodies coming from her. We've got cerulean ties with acrylic. I better not forget anybody. I don't want to. PDS equipment, right? PDS equipment. Also,
they're giving away a UV.
They're not giving away UV, but last year they did give away a ton of stuff, and people loved it. Steve did great when he went live.
He's always great. Yeah, he's great. He randomly jumped in on one of our giveaway lives and was like, oh, well, here's some free airplane tickets to, and I was like, what?
Yeah, so he's going to do something cool. Oh, we got Cuddle also.
Nice.
And Cuddle is such a neat software if you don't know about Cuddle
so
XYZ.
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool. So I think that's everybody. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody.
Love to everyone involved. Just in case.
Yes. So make sure if you want to register and get access to all of the pros. We're calling it Laser Maker Con All Stars because everybody is an all star. They're basically hitting home runs in their business. And so I said, can you show these people how to do the same thing you're doing? Just make sure you use the Riley Black Crystal Aguila special link that we will have below.
By then, we'll put it in the show notes and all that stuff. So that's exciting. And then, so after Laser Maker Con, what's next up for you?
Well, in between all of that, I am working on my speeches for laser light
all the
burn.
Lasers.
All
the laser stuff.
All the lasers.
Yeah. I'm working on a speech for LVX and then the one for Next Level Laser, but also right after LMC, two things open up that I have closed right now. One is Mom's File Club will be opening up for the first time since its launch. So that's exciting. And Laser Launch Academy, my course, will also be opening up for enrollment shortly after that. So there's a lot of moving parts, my friend.
Nice.
Oh, and then there's the painted tree. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, so what's going on with that? That was originally supposed to open when, but it's opening.
Okay, so the painted tree, also, if you're not familiar with the painted tree, think of it like an in-store Etsy shop. It's a big department store. And when you go in, there are a bunch of handmade boutiques. Okay. So sellers like myself, you can go and you can rent a booth space. Now, I did a ton of research. I decided this was the right fit for me and my brand and my business. The first one in the state of Florida is opening up just 20 minutes south of me.
Nice.
And that also played into it because I spoke with a lot of sellers who were like, if I was close enough to constantly restock it, I would have loved to stick it out.
That's a huge factor because I had a little consignment shop where I had like a shelf in like a kind of like a bookshelf size thing in their place. And it was awesome, but they were like 35 minutes away. And, we had just had Jackson, or I was pregnant with Jackson. And then that's when it got hard to keep up with it because driving there and back, it's an hour round trip, not including any zhuzhing you need to do of, your spot and seeing what's needed and making the stuff and all that. So it being in close proximity, I didn't think would be that big of a deal because it's not like you're going there every day or maybe not even every week, but it made it so I procrastinated on it more because it was a distance. So having it close is huge.
Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than the Crazy Laser Dad's Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced and tested and ready to use on your laser. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for your customers.
Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their Laser Ready Blanks. Hey guys, how great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape the 9-to-5 and embrace a lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Above and Beyond webinar, where you'll learn how you can make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head on over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Above and Beyond webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
Bye.
Well, that was one of the things when I was trying to make my decision, right? Because I found it fascinating. There are people that they have several booths, 4, 5, 6, 7 booths out of state, and they ship their stuff, and then they hire the employees there to restock the booth. But these are shops that are doing very successful. So I was like, what's the difference between the shops that they're willing to ship it, but then there's people that don't. So what I found was, like, if you were in your kind of scenario where you were 30, 40, 45 minutes, an hour away, it was like, it was too close to justify shipping your stuff there.
Right.
But it was too far to get yourself there consistently. Yep. You know what I mean? And so that kind of played into what, the feedback I was getting from people. They were like, if I was closer, I would have stayed. And thankfully for me, I have Sarah who works with me, and she lives even closer than I do.
Nice.
So anyhow, when somebody shops, they take it to the cashier, they check it out, and I get a notification on the app that says this item has been purchased. So that now I know what I need to be restocking.
Nice.
So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I saw your little Chat GPT rendering.
Oh my God. Well, and I only gave you a sneak peek, but I think the full thing is going to be so freaking adorable. Thanks to Chatty Gibbet. By the way,
who's painting the wall though? Do you have a person to paint the wall, or like, what do you, because the rainbow behind you, if people don't know.
Here is the plan. Here is the plan. This took forever. Look, and it's not done because this is supposed to be a whole wood wall.
I mean, it's way more done than it was for a long time. So I'll take this.
Okay, so the plan is, because I mean, really, do I need to throw myself at more things? No.
Yes.
But I genuinely enjoy learning how to do different things. And I really enjoy documenting it and sharing it with the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I see this as a really cool opportunity for me to kind of vlog what it's like to have an in-person booth, what it's like to know what sells and what doesn't sell and how to stage it. And it's a whole other experience from a market.
Yeah.
A pop-up market. This is like, it needs to feel like a boutique, you know?
Right.
So I'm going to be documenting all of that. And part of the documentation is the setup. So I am forcing myself to record how to do all these things. Now, in that mock-up that you saw, the plan is to actually use my pass-through to cut out the rainbow.
Oh, okay. Smart.
Well, you can't come to that mom with a lasers booth and not have, like, you know.
Right. Of course. I just didn't know if it was going to be painted because painting that
the wood is going to be painted. But that I find it's easier to do that than freehand it or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Like 100%.
Totally.
So that's the plan. And then I was getting a ton of anxiety about the boutique itself. And this is where I just love, by the way, okay, so one of our speakers this year, I just adore her. If you don't follow her, you guys need to go follow her. Okay, Sandy Higgins from the Go to the Shack. Okay.
No, I don't think I know her.
She's not in the laser world. Okay.
Okay.
She has a very successful printing t-shirt business. Okay. I follow her on TikTok because I love her. She's everybody's TikTok meme, and she's always spitting out facts about business. Yeah. And so I said, look, Sandy, I know that lasers are not your thing, but you are so wise when it comes to small businesses. I know that if you came and spoke to my people, that everything you have to say will resonate with them. So she agreed. I did like a podcast thing, and homeboys over here is going to help me like edit it to make it fabulous, right?
These homeboys.
That homeboy. These two. And she calls it. So she's Southern, and so she calls it Chatty Gibbet. So to me, it's not ChatGPT anymore. It's Chatty Gibbet. So I went to Chatty Gibbet, and I told her, I said, look, I want X, Y, and Z. And then she put it all together, and I was like, oh, no more anxiety. I know what to do. I know what the plan is.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
when does it open?
Originally, it was set to July, which was giving me a heart attack.
Right.
I need to be preparing for LMC right now.
Right.
And then because of whatever construction and coding and whatever, you know, it's been pushed back to September. And I'm like, oh my.
It's so funny. Yeah. Because we're at the point where when certain projects fall through, you're like, oh, thank God. Like you appreciate you appreciate that people wanted you. You appreciate that you have things coming to you. But then you also appreciate like sometimes when people reschedule or when they cancel, because you're like, it gives you like, those are the times when you get to breathe a little bit, because we fill our schedules, you know, so full that sometimes, you know what? Delays are needed.
that is such a blessing, you know. I was thinking about, so I went and I shared with the other sellers for that store that I got the email, because some did not, and I was relieved. I was so happy about it, and the fact that we can be relieved about the delay is a blessing, because it tells us that so much is going on in our business that it's not going to hurt us. Where other people were pretty angry, and I could get that if you were just hoping or harping on this opportunity. You know, so we are blessed. We are blessed, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It feels like that too, because it's kind of like it's that moment for small businesses when you finally get that moment where you feel comfortable saying no.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of that like full circle again. It's more in depth than that. But, you know, the first time you get to like turn down a project and not just, oh, I'm going to figure this out, or, you know, you feel guilty, or you feel like you're kind of taking money out of your pocket if you say no to a project that you probably shouldn't say yes to.
Right.
Because saying yes to everything, while some people make it work, it's not most people can't. If you say yes
Right.
to everything, then, you're kind of spreading yourself too thin. You're not
Mhm.
perfecting any one of anything because you're doing just this and that. And you almost waste more time because now you have to, it's like teaching yourself a new project every single time.
Right.
I remember that like
Yeah.
my first year, that's what it was. It was like everything was just like random. Even if it wasn't laser related, people would ask me if I could make it. And so then I'm like having to like, recreate the wheel and trying to make it laser friendly and all that stuff.
Can
And
I
yeah,
can I tell you, I'm resonating with that because it kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning. It's like, are people just constantly wanting me to learn the new things so that I can teach it to them? Or are
yeah,
they invested in me as a person? Are they
right.
really part of my tribe, so to speak? And I was like,
Yeah,
maybe I should let them in a little more. Because
yeah,
it's very raw for me to I tell this, like, okay, there are people on TikTok or other social media platforms, and they, like, you guys are so good about talking about your life,
yeah,
and in my mind, I'm like, what do they want to hear from me? Like, they just want me to teach them something,
yeah,
So I haven't grown comfortable just talking about
yeah.
life. Does
Just
that make
that
sense?
because what little you share, and it doesn't even have to be a lot, because even though we share a lot, there's still a lot of things that
That
we
we
don't
don't. Yeah.
necessarily share,
Yeah.
or that, we'll share like the higher level and not go into like super detail. I mean, I remember the first episode we did where I finally opened up about the struggles we were having with JR, and I actually like cried on the episode, which was not the
Mhm.
plan. But I got so much feedback from that because people, for one, you look human, and a lot of
Mhm.
times, depending on how long they've been following us and what they know about us and all that, a lot of times, we don't always look like human to them.
Yeah.
It's more like a mentor. It's like, everything looks great because they're seeing the best of the best most
Right.
of the time, right? But when they see that we're normal like everybody else, and that we also have struggles that we're pushing through, and that's like we're very transparent when we have like the tough months, and like, oh,
Yeah.
some months we're ready to go on, monthly vacations, and some months we're like, how the heck are we going to pay our mortgage or whatever things,
Right.
it's so ebb and flow all the time. And, sharing that just, it really does help people connect. Because I mean,
Mhm.
someone actually at the next conference, they like bought me a book that was gonna, like, that would help with the things that we were going through with JR and that kind of stuff. And just so many heartfelt messages of people who are going through same or similar things, or just
Yeah.
sending their kind words. You always forget about that. And so even if it's the positive stuff, like, oh, my
Mhm.
son got this award at school, I'm so proud of him, or just little things like that, it's just showing that little extra piece just adds to that connection factor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So-
people are nosy, let's be real.
Well, but
Like nosy in a good way, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
well,
if
because they're vested in you, and
Yes.
that's where I'm like, I want to connect enough that people are vested in wherever this crazy story of mine is
Yep.
taking me.
Well, that's the other thing too. If they connect to you on a more personal level as well, then they can more easily ride the journey with you. You know what I mean? If they're
Mhm.
not just like, oh, like if someone was following me just for laser files, they'd be gone right now because I haven't made a new one in like years. So, you know what I mean? And so when they follow you and they follow your story, it's
Yeah.
easier to kind of bring them along because they're not here for just that one piece, especially if
Yeah.
that one piece tends to go away,
Exactly.
because it's like you said, it's ever evolving. As soon as
Yeah.
you get used to what you're doing and, oh, this is what I'm going to do, then the universe is like, great, time to shake it up. I heard you. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm good right now.
And another thing that I was reflecting on yesterday, I just randomly went live in my Facebook group, right? If you're not in that Mom with a Laser community, what are you doing? Get over there.
Right. Seriously.
I used to go live all the time in the beginning, remember?
Right.
And that's when it's live like this, it's easy to just like talk about what's going on,
Right.
Right.
And I was like, I need to do that more because I've stretched myself so thin that I can't do that. So yesterday was kind of nice too. People popped in, they were like, it feels like old times. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's fine. So, but you were talking about files, and that's another thing I'm supposed to cover today. So it goes hand in hand with the painted tree, kind of. So I have a club for those of you watching. It's called Mom's File Club, and that's where I sell my files. And I used to sell them just on Etsy as like a one-off, but I really like the File Club a lot. It has helped me accountable because before I used to just make files here and there,
random spurts,
and now I'm vested in this painted tree experience. I really want people to come into my boutique and look and feel that they have come to that Mom with a Lasers boutique. What's going to set it apart from all? This is something I get from people all the time. With so many people in the laser world, it's saturated. How do you set yourself apart? Right? Well, and so the File Club is kind of like that. So I'm designing files for my specific boutique. And I don't even know if I'm going to open up the files to the public anymore. Like I'm making them because what's unique about the File Club is that I'm actually selling the files myself. Like, you know, typically there's a really great relationship between file designer and then file seller. I'm making the files for my shop. So I'm like, if I'm making them for my own physical shop, I'd rather have like a private exclusive club that can also sell them. So anyhow, we've been making all these cute things. We make tumblers. So how adorable is my graduation tumbler?
That's super cute.
Isn't that cute? Look, I love, look, it says streaming my graduation era.
Nice.
Oh, cute. So that one I did in advance for a graduation. Then I have, look at this little America tumbler.
Nice.
And so cute, right? I love, where's my little Statue of Liberty? Oh, there she is.
Nice. Looks like Julia.
Oh, my little. Speaking of Julia, do you know what happened to her last night?
What?
My goodness. So she and her brother, Jake, I hear them. They are just giggling up a storm in my room.
Uh-oh.
I know.
At least that's what we say in our house.
Well,
I told him. I said it's a different laugh. I'm like, that's the laugh that they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
They were having too much fun, you know, and I was like, I should go in and check on them. And I kid you not. No, the moment I said that, I hear her scream and start crying. So I run in, and my poor little girl, they were jumping on the bed, and she fell flat on her, like her mouth hit my end table, and she popped one of her front tooth out. She lost a tooth.
Didn't one of your boys do that too?
Noah!
In the truck?
On the truck, yes!
No more monkeys
so
jumping on the bed.
This time I knew how to react, though. You know, like, so... But it was ever so slightly wiggly. Like she's desperate to lose her teeth. And I'm like, stop being so desperate to grow up. Keep your teeth, please. So anyhow, it fell out. She was terrified, screaming. But when she realized, I told her, you lost your tooth. When she realized she had lost her tooth, because she wants to be a big girl.
Right.
She stopped crying and was so happy. Aww. She's like, I need to find my tooth. And she's got a bloody mouth, and she's like trying to find her tooth. So I called the dentist today. I got to take her in tomorrow. We got to make sure that the adult teeth were not damaged, because now I know what to think.
Right.
And she went today to school with a busted lip, but she's like lisping. She's, I lost my tooth. And she's telling everybody.
Good old Tyson.
Man.
So anyhow, I didn't mean to. That was a tangent there, but
that's okay. That's all we do around here.
Yeah,
just tangents.
So yeah,
you're talking about the file club.
Oh yeah, I was showing you all my pretty little things. This is like a little paint kit, you know.
Nice.
So these are things that I think will sell easily if they're seasonal at the shop. Like I could see somebody saying, "Oh, it's a cute little bracelet," you know. Then I have all these cute little like
bookmarks.
What are these? The bookmark. Look at my kitty. The kitty's really cute too. Let's see right here.
Nice.
So I'm trying to make things that are quick and easy for people to pick up, you know. And then this was a big hit. This was for Easter. I showed people how to do the dried flowers. And what's cool too is it's almost like, because I make tutorials for every lesson and or for every product. And every product I'm making, it's not the same thing. I kind of dabble in everything. I do rotary. I do, you know, I don't know, cutting, and then I do. I'm going to engrave hats. Like those are going to be part of the files. Which, by the way, hat engraving is so much fun, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the like, what are they made of?
Well, felt. Some are felt, and then some are like a suede material. I've been practicing a ton with those behind the scenes. Oh, these were another big hit, which I think are going to be beautiful also in my little booth.
Oh,
nice.
My little floral wreaths.
Yeah.
So I'm always coming up with different things, and so that's what the File Club is all about. Oh, and in addition to tumblers and stuff like that, we also do print. Right? So I I provide all of the files in color also.
Nice.
Isn't that pretty? So like this.
There it goes.
This month's drop.
Mm-hmm.
This month they get a journal version,
Nice.
both color and
I
not
like that.
color. I know.
Curler.
And then they'll get this is cute little. It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
teacher
That's cool.
themed. Isn't
Yeah.
it cute?
Yeah.
But they'll also get a printable version too if they do sublimation or
Yeah,
UV printing. And then we
Nice.
have this cute little teacher desk name signs. I don't know if you can see.
Adorable.
Is that pretty?
That's very pretty.
And they'll here. And they'll get the color version also. So
Nice.
that's been keeping us busy. Oh, my big flower presses were a big hit too. See?
Mm-hmm.
I love these.
Best
And
buds
then
for-
engraved.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what Julia gave her bestie, but we made little mini versions and she gave it to her bestie. Her name's Daisy.
Nice.
So we had one that says you make
Aw.
my Daisy. It's very cute.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So that's what we're up to. And then the speeches and summer. Tomorrow's the last day of school. When do your kids get
Oh.
out of school?
Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Tomorrow? Wait, no,
What's
tomorrow's
today?
tomorrow's
So,
Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. So
Day after.
yeah.
Keep them in there. Keep
Friday,
them in there
right?
as long as
It was
they
so
can.
funny. Jared tells us the other morning he talks so much in the morning, and
He
I'm
wakes
like,
up. I wish I woke up with a fraction of his energy.
Me
in the morning, 'cause
to
he
7
wakes up.
a.m. He wakes up at 6:15.
I don't know what
sometimes.
time he wakes up because he doesn't
But like
come
he's
in the
not
room
allowed to
anymore.
leave the room until 7. So he comes in the room and he's like, rambling on and on and on about this stuff. And he goes, guys, I have some bad news. And we're like, what? And he's like, it's early release Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, okay. And I said, I have a bit of bad news. I was like, you're in aftercare. That doesn't affect us. And he was like, no, it's only for 2 hours. And I was like, no, normally you go for 2 hours. It's like an hour and a half. I was like, you go for an hour and a half. I was like, it's not that.
But you're gonna have extended.
It's extended. I was like, when he has half days, it's the same day, full day for us because we have extended day.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. I have bad news, guys. It's early release. Like, no, you just get to play longer.
Right? Yeah.
And he's the type that John will pick him up at like 4:30, 4:45 instead of 5 o'clock, and he'll be mad.
He'll be mad because they play computer games.
Noah is the same way. Like if
Yeah.
Do
you
not
mean because
pick him
he's
up
having
early.
fun. No.
Mhm.
Noah's the opposite. If I am not there on time, he is like not having it,
Yeah.
So
No,
anyhow.
JR would be happy if we were late. He would
Yeah.
love us to pick
That's
him
a
up
blessing.
later, but picking him up later, I'm like, we have dinner, we have things,
Yeah.
like we have the routines that we gotta
Yeah.
get going.
That's
So no,
great
we can't
though.
pick up
That's
later.
that's
but-
good that he's enjoying
Yes.
being with his friends, you
Yes.
know?
Well, not even just his friends. It's the computer games that
Yeah.
they get to
Yeah.
play. But at least they're the good games and that kind of stuff.
So
that
be on the
Yeah,
lookout
yeah,
for
yeah.
his new Twitch channel soon.
Okay.
And then so your kids, have they had any interest in the content creation and that kind of stuff? Because JR is obsessed with it.
Mine
saw-
are they beg me and I'm like, look, I have enough. I'm busy enough doing my own content. I ain't making no content for you. Okay. I did like one video for them. They loved it.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much.
I know JR wants to be a gamer, and so he wants one of the gamer ones.
Twitch.
The Twitch, yeah. And then he also wants to make stuff. And in theory, I'm like, that sounds amazing. But then I'm like, actually executing it and like which one, like, it's finding the time for that and the content and another thing for him to edit and upload. But we do want to. So what I think we're going to do first is it's a little bit easier and less assembly and stuff is I'm going to see what 3D printed files he can do, and then he can do that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Jake
that's a
is
lot.
begging me for a 3D printer.
He asks for like, can we make keychains this weekend? Can we like, and it's cute and I want to, and I'd love to spend, that time with him. It's just finding the time and all.
Maybe
the
this
things,
is where
but-
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I would love to, but a lot of those kids, they have parents that are vested in building that
in
YouTube
theirs.
channel.
Right. Yeah.
I can't do both,
Yeah.
But sometimes I think like if I could teach them enough that they could do it on their own.
Right.
I mean, I'd be afraid of how much footage they put on one freaking SD card, just rambling about who knows what.
Well, just give them a 16 gig. That way they can't fill it up too much.
There you
give
go.
them a smaller. They don't have to have a 128 gigabyte memory card.
And then they have to learn how to make a video with what they have.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's
I ran out of space.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ran out of space. Well, first let's lower it from 4K to 1080p.
Right.
You're not going out to the world just yet.
Right.
And teach them how to do their own editing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Can I tell you, they're really good at teaching themselves. Like Jake yesterday, he found a tutorial on how to. I swear the software looked like Adobe Illustrator. Okay.
Yeah.
Because next thing I know, he's on the computer. He found this website and he is creating a cartoon, and it looks like he's in Adobe. I'm like, what are you doing? And he built out a whole cartoon using some website that was like a graphic design website. And I'm like, these kids are geniuses.
Yeah, JR will, that felt weird. JR will, he'll look up tutorials on how to draw stuff all the time. And like, we'll see something and it'll be really well drawn and we'll like, wow. And he's like, yeah, I saw a tutorial. Or sometimes he'll just look at something like today we were eating breakfast and he found a drawing. Cause that's what he does a lot of times in the morning. When he's like, waiting for everybody to wake up, is he'll draw. And so this morning, I think he drew this little like cat
plush
thing
toy.
And it was we didn't know it was a plush toy yet.
Right.
Cause he found the drawing and it was like this cute little cat and he moved the drawing over so that we could like, eat breakfast. And then a few minutes later, he finds the plush toy that looks exactly like the drawing he made. And that's what he was drawing. So it's super cute that like they are around us with all of this stuff and they see that and they have their own creativity and talent and skill and can teach themselves crazy things with just the right tutorial. Okay. And then, they see us making all this content and he'll see somebody on TV and he'll be like, have they been on your podcast? And we're like, no, buddy. It's cute though.
So what you're saying is we need to retire and then become professional editors and content managers for our kids so that they can become the Mr. Beasts of the future.
Yeah. He wants to be Mr. Beast.
He's seen like three Mr. Beast
We don't even
videos.
let him watch that much on YouTube anymore. But he's seen enough YouTube and enough of Mr. Beast that he is obsessed.
And every now and then he says in real life, no cameras, like and subscribe.
He
tells you to like and subscribe.
He does. It's
as a joke,
cute.
but not so much as a joke.
So once I've said this on the podcast before, but I forget what happened, but he was trying to like, I said something and it was like a burn of some sort. And he was trying to like get me back.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, you don't have any subscribers. And I was like, actually we do. We have like 1,400. And he goes, really? He was like, his mind blew and he was like amazed and impressed. But it was funny because like he was trying to like use it as a dig. And I was like, actually, we do. And we have a lot.
I got to admit, it's kind of cool to be able to like whip out those kind of like skills to your kids because it's cool to them. So like, whenever my kids have to do like a video project, like, we're whipping out all of our cool little effects and stuff.
Was it Noah who made a Cuban sandwich?
Yeah. That was such a good video.
Yeah, it was.
But it took everything out of me,
Yeah.
And then we did like a family one or whatever. But it is kind of cool because then they show it to their friends and then they're like, oh, your mom's a YouTuber?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think JR tells everyone that we're podcasters.
Yeah, we have podcasts,
Yeah.
And now that we're gonna have a studio like for rent, he's gonna lose his mind.
He is.
He's gonna want his own podcast.
He does. He wants his own.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, Daddy, can we start a podcast?
So before we head over to Patreon and continue this talk about making kids
and the
creators
making kids, I was like, ew, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Making them influencers.
Time out. I'm not gonna lie. I have thought about it before. I was like, I could make a whole like family course on how to do it, right? But never.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes we have to stop. We
How
have
can-
all the ideas. There's only so much time.
Where can people go to what?
Well, so first we have. Do you have the coupon codes?
No.
Okay, so we're
about
gonna
that.
need-
Make them up on the spot.
Well, yeah. So everybody watching is going to get 20% off of the digital files in my shop. I just don't
Etsy
have the
shop,
code
okay.
yet, but we will put it in the description below.
Yeah, just make it Riley Black.
Just like and subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah, Riley Black. That'll work. And then we'll talk about the other one offline. But again, you have time to make it live. But yeah. And then you can your turn.
Yes. Where can people find you? Where can they sign up for LMC?
Okay,
all
yeah.
that good
So
stuff.
all the important things. Number 1, register for LMC. It's totally free. Use John and Crystal's link below. And that's going to get you free access to an amazing conference for 3 days. And that's link number 1. And then anything else, if you guys want to get to know me, get connected with me, the best place is in the Facebook group. It is an incredible resource. That Mom with a Laser community. We'll link that below. And if you just want to learn all things TM law, then go to thatmomwithalaser.co. That's it.
.co.
.co. Punto co.
Punto co, not punto com.
All right. Nice.
Cool. Well,
and then did we say that we're gonna do a behind the scenes tour on the
we
Patreon
can.
side?
Yes.
It's a hot mess.
We're gonna see what
everyone
the
wants
shop
to see
looks
that.
like. So this will be a good one to buy if you don't want to be a member.
Oh yes,
But,
I keep forgetting we have
yes,
that now.
you can buy it for like $3, right?
Yep, $3.
Yeah, unless you buy it on your Apple phone, then it's like $4.50.
Don't do it.
So
Wow.
just buy it. Just go don't buy it through what is it?
Which
the
I think
Apple
that
Store.
might be
It might go
changing.
away.
I forget
Yes,
what's
there's
changing about
there's
it. but
litigation going on with that.
Yes.
So hopefully that'll change and it'll go back to normal. But you have something
No.
more?
Mm-mm.
Would you like to interrupt again?
I don't think.
Me.
Do you
Something
want to
more?
fight?
Huh?
Do you want to
Yeah,
fight?
over on Patreon, so they have to pay. Also, there's gonna be a fight on Patreon, pay-per-view.
Whatever.
So go join there to see the fight and to see what Emily's crazy behind the scenes of that Mom with the Lasers workshop. But for everyone else who's not subscribed to Patreon, this is it for you. And we are back with the life update.
We are back.
You fighting back a yawn or something? What's going on over there?
I'm just tired.
Okay.
It always hits me. Like I start to yawn in the second portion.
Right.
And then the after dark, TMI, but I have to usually pee. So I'm usually like pushing through like,
at the end of the after dark? Yeah.
Well, not the after dark, the live, what is this? Life update. I warned John, my brain is glitching so much lately.
We only have 3 parts to our show.
Okay, but
Gen Pop,
this part,
Patreon,
the life update.
and life update.
So during the life update, I start to get tired. I start to have to really hold back the yawns.
Well, we're like
my
2 hours
body,
in.
Yeah, my body is like, girl, we gotta pee.
Yeah.
We're tired. We gotta do.
Not everyone
and
could be Joe Rogan. Do a
Literally.
3-hour podcast. Although he's even taking pee breaks in the middle of his stuff.
Yeah,
too.
you have to,
Yeah.
because it's just.
And
so
we, at the time of this recording, we're getting our keys in like a couple days.
Yeah. By the time they hear this, even the Patreons, because we had to record a week early because next week is going to be insane getting into the space.
Right, we're going to be doing the space and everything.
We'll be a week. Actually, when they hear this, we'll be in Virginia. So that's, yes.
This?
Yes.
Next Friday, yeah.
It comes out next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. Yeah, we'll be in Virginia.
We'll be in Virginia. So we'll be knee-deep in Jamboree good times.
Mm-hmm. With JR for the first time. So
yeah, we're taking JR, and poor Nino only has one crazy,
the craziest one, it seems sometimes.
But when he's by himself, when they're by themselves, they do a lot better.
Yes,
together, they just either fight or get into trouble or both. So yeah, hopefully it'll be more manageable for us, and her. But yeah, that'll be good times. And then when we get back from Virginia, then it's back to setting up the
promoting the studio.
Yeah, promoting it, finishing any little like loose ends that we have. We got a bunch of deliveries yesterday, and we'll get a bunch more today.
Yep.
But most things were the expected sizes. Only two things got me.
Oh, right.
The little microphones, the little like retro microphones. So those are tiny. So those are going to go on a shelf together instead of separately like I initially planned. So little things like that. Yeah. You're like, oh, I think this is going to work. And like you got some like pole things for the lights. And then you're like, some pole things for the lights.
That looks suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But little things like that, you're like, that's not going to work for what I thought
Although
it was.
I knew I had a feeling.
You had a feeling.
I had a feeling, but I'm like,
I had a feeling about all of the decor I got. I knew, even if you tell me dimensions, even if you show me like comparables, like it helps.
Right.
But I need to see it to know how, and you need to see it on the shelf or where it's going to go to see, does that look how I think it's going to? Because while my rendering is amazing, I really hope that it looks even somewhat remotely close to that. Because if it does, then I'm going to be super happy. But if there's going to be those little pieces, because then I was scrambling kind of last night of trying to figure out our landing page on a new software, which, that was frustrating at first, but got it. And then I was like, okay, well, now I have an empty shelf and I need to figure out something that goes on there. And I need to make sure that it fits that same vibe, because now we've shown people what it looks like and how awesome it is. I need to make sure that it's all... cohesive.
Show the rendering is pictures of everything we've purchased.
True.
So it's not like we're just taking things from like Canva.
Right.
You screen grabbed it and put it in there. So it should all be
similar,
relatively similar.
Because it's just the proportions that may not.
You got
be
the curtains,
what I
right?
think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the curtains. And that was the other thing. I almost forgot, like the curtains. That was the only thing I forgot so far, I think.
Right.
But yeah, it's just putting it all together and hoping, because there's always delays that are unforeseen until you get in that space. And you're like, that's not going to work there. And so then
luckily,
you
this isn't a
sometimes.
retrofit. This isn't a remodel. This is
starting
an
from
empty
scratch,
room,
right? Which you said is easier.
Which for me it is. So some people, I think it might be the other way, because you have to envision it, so it's harder, and then you have to like realize, okay, this is gonna be plugged. Some people need
this cable doesn't go that far.
Right. Some people need the work like kind of already done,
right,
and then they just like kind of tweak it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a lot easier.
That's true. For me, it's harder to tweak something that's already there.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, but then do I have to use that one? Can I use this other one? Does that fit?
Right.
And then it's like, oh, but you have this one that works, and it's free. Or do I pay more money and get this one that looks better and it's a little bit smaller and fits the space, but it's not free? Yeah. There's more deliveries.
Yeah, I hear the truck.
But yeah, so just it's gonna be crazy for the next few months. So bear with us.
I looked at so many switchers.
Yeah.
To not go with the A10 Mini because I wanted to see, and I'm like, no, I gotta get the A10.
You got to.
You got to. The price difference was so like
minor,
that it was like $100, I think.
Yeah,
like
and that's not worth cutting the corners for.
No, because I know the A10 Mini is gonna work.
Exactly.
And I already like know how it works, so I was like, let me not, because what's gonna happen is kind of like the poles. I'm gonna end up buying it, so that
you go too cheap, and then you have other issues, or you have to do workarounds, or it's not the best, tool,
or you're
whatever.
running it, and the whole time you're like, man, this would have been a lot better with the A10 Mini.
Right. Well, now you're out because now you have to sell that one, or hope you can recoup something, and then buy the one you should have just bought in the first place.
I'm thinking of getting another thing too. I don't know.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
The Stream Deck.
I haven't heard about this.
You haven't heard about it?
No.
I'll show it to you.
Okay.
So again, it involves kind of like I was telling you, OBS involves some like, not necessarily, it's not coding, but coding in the like video world where you have to go in and set certain patches up. So it's kind of like that, but it works great for how I was telling you it works. We'll talk offline. But it's a button instead of like going in and clicking on the computer.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about it.
But
still,
that's all I got for the life update is,
studio life,
owner
life.
And then the regular responsibilities we have, like this podcast, the new podcast. We have to record episode 2 of that soon.
Yes.
And
I gotta work on episode 1 to get it out.
That's true. There's so much. There's so much.
A lot of things. So let's get to it.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for those that are Patreon and are watching
Yes, we appreciate you.
Yeah, the
so
extended
much.
version. There's a nice. We do a behind the scenes tour of the warehouse.
Yeah, and we got some
and we
secret
talk about
info that you
some
have to keep quiet.
top secret. Yes, we talk about some top secret stuff. So, so yeah, be sure to watch that. Just join Patreon and watch that. And with that, it's been a great episode of the Riley Black Project. Chris and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done. The Riley Black Project. Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Nino, I'm recording.